All right, everybody, welcome back into the Auburn Live Show. Appreciate everybody for joining us. A little special edition of the basketball show because we are joined by Mr. Abdul Bashir. What's up,
Yes,
man?
sir. I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Newest Auburn basketball commitment. Um, are you signed yet?
Nah, I haven't signed yet, so I'll probably sign here soon in like April. I think there's some
Got it.
sign periods. I don't know how this letter of intent stuff still works because there have been some different rule changes and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna sign here soon though.
Yeah. But all good, locked in.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Recruitment's closed for sure.
yeah, to be an Auburn Tiger. Well, I appreciate you joining us. Um, I guess first of all, I want to talk to you about obviously, your background and why you chose Auburn and stuff. But real quick, um, I mean, what is it like watching this team and what they're accomplishing right now, at the same time as, um, you know, committing to the program? But you're not there yet, but you're watching what this team's accomplishing. Do you feel a little bit of connection? Like you're not there yet, but do you feel like that's my guys? Like, what do you feel when you're watching this team right now be number one in the country?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, it's just an honor to watch them play basketball. The way they respect the game, the way they approach the game, how they prepare for every game. I feel like, I mean, even being up close and personal and watching it, obviously, the game that I was at, they lost, but like, still the way they go about their business is like, it's a joy to watch, and obviously, I've had conversation with guys on the team and things like that. So, just watching them go out there and produce at a high level it's very amazing to watch, and they're capable of a lot of things, and I just wish the best for them because I feel like this is a very special group that only happens once in every few years for any program. So it's a very special group they have.
Um, Take me back a little bit over the last couple of months in terms of your recruitment. Just kind of how it went. Have you been heavily recruited for a while now? Did things just sort of explode this year as more people noticed you or you took off? Like how's it sort of been? Maybe how did Auburn get into the picture and how you ended up there? Take me through that for people that really maybe don't know, haven't been following you for the last 2 months. They just popped up and saw that you committed, but they didn't,
Yeah,
maybe they didn't know your story the months and stuff like that leading up.
yeah. No, I mean, my recruitment really picked up after after my freshman campaign, like during the summer, going into my sophomore year. I had first gotten high major offers. Like I want to say last May was my first few. I got Nebraska and no, I got Texas A&M, Arizona State last May, and then like after that, it just started picking up. I played at some events in the summer, and then that's when Auburn first started recruiting me in the summer. Coach Williams he came out to Phoenix. He watched me play in Phoenix, and he liked what he saw. And then he had Coach Pearl come watch me in Indiana. Um, and Yeah, that's when they first started recruiting me. And then my recruitment was really it started slowing off. It started slowing down a little bit because I took some visits in the fall. People thought I was going to make a decision in the fall, so it started to slow down a little bit. But then after I didn't decide in the fall, and I started like playing my sophomore year and having some very big games. My recruitment just went through the roof again. That's when teams, all these all these types of schools started reaching out: SEC schools, ACC schools, Big 12 schools. And then Auburn got back in the picture. They were recruiting me. They weren't really heavy like that because they probably thought I was going to sign early, but then they started recruiting me again. And I just built a great relationship with Coach Williams, and then Coach Pearl kind of took over a little bit. He was reaching out to me all the time. And then we had a Zoom call, and then obviously more schools came in the picture like Bama, Kentucky, Louisville, a lot of good programs. And then I just when I went on my visit to Auburn, I feel like I got everything I needed. I seen everything that I needed to see in a program and a staff. They're really they're really great staff over there, very genuine staff over there. And then I didn't feel like I needed anything more, so I was just ready to shut down my recruitment and commit to them.
Yeah, tell me about that visit. You talked about sort of everything that you felt like you needed was there at Auburn. What were some of those specific things, whether it was vibe, system, feeling like it's a place that you can spend your time, even if you don't play basketball, like a home sort of atmosphere. What were some of the key things that when you experienced it, you were like, checked it off, like that's it, I'm done?
Now, when I first got there, um, it was just like as soon as I walked in the Neville Arena, that was the first place I went. Coach
Mhm.
Pearl and the whole entire staff was outside waiting for me. Um, and they all greeted me, and they just it's just you can tell. I feel like I can tell when people are genuine with who they are. I feel like it's easy to tell when people are faking it, and then as the visit went on, obviously they had a big game that week playing a Florida, a very good Florida team. Coach Pearl was just so active in everything involving the visit. Like he was everywhere. He was at photo shoots, at dinners, at you know, checking up on me. Like he was doing everything. He was going out of his way to make sure that I had a great time on my visit. And then obviously, the game came and Coach Pearl told me like you're gonna see everything. You're gonna see the good, the bad, the ugly. All of it because we're playing a very good Florida team. So obviously we're gonna go through some adversity. And then watching the game, um being in the like the pregame speech, seeing Coach Pearl at halftime. He was like that's everything. That's everything that I would want in a coach because I feel like he holds his players accountable, but they also know that it just comes from a place of love. He does a great job of balancing. Like I'm gonna get on you, I'm gonna hold you accountable, but I'm also gonna like be emotional with you and show you that I love you and care about you and that's the same thing with the whole staff. They hold their guys to a high standard, but they also, they when guys are going through slumps or guys are going through certain things in their life, I feel like those coaches are just the first to tell them like, oh, we got your back, we got you with anything you need. So I feel like that's just all I needed to see, how much they care about their players on and off the court.
Yeah, I was going to ask you sort of how you look at that as a player, having been around the program, covering it, been to a lot of practices, and sort of knowing the dynamic. That staff, Bruce Pearl obviously leads it, but that staff as a whole, they seem to do a pretty good job of holding players accountable, but letting
Mhm.
guys be themselves, like giving
Yeah,
giving giving their guys enough room to have personality and to play with an edge or however you want to approach it, as long as you are accountable to your teammates and doing the things you're supposed to do as a player. Why is that appealing, where you feel like, okay, I can be me. Like, I mean, you look at their team now, right? Like Chad has got his edge.
yeah,
You've had
yeah.
players in the past, whether it's Katie Johnson or you've had guys that sort of play on that line. But it allows them, I think, to be at their best when they're sort of when they're locked in. What's the appeal to that as a player, that sort of approach?
I feel like seeing that, like how Coach Pearl allows his players to be themselves. I think like as a player, as obviously as a recruit coming in or somebody getting recruited, I think it's like something that you would want to see in a program. I feel like you know everybody's gone through their own struggles. Everybody's gone through their own adversity that have led them to the point that to the where that they're at now. Obviously guys come from different backgrounds. Chad came from JUCO, Janai came from mid major.
Mhm.
Tahad was a McDonald's All American, but there's so many, different walks of life, different paths to that to that stage that they're at now. But that I feel like your story and your adversity and everything that you've gone through is what makes a person. So, going like down the line, like on the team, everybody's gone through stuff and that's made them who they are today. And that's just who they are. So I feel like Coach Pro does a great job of just not trying to change guys, but just allowing them to be themselves and learn and grow from their mistakes. And as a recruit, that's everything you want to see because I've gone through certain stuff in my life that other people haven't, and other people have gone through certain things in their life that I haven't. But that's just what makes us. That's what makes our character. So I think Coach Pro does a great job of just allowing you to be yourself. And as a recruit, like who wouldn't want to go somewhere where they're allowed to be themselves?
So take me back to high school a little bit. So you're from Omaha, Nebraska,
Yeah,
and then you end up at Casper College, which is in Wyoming. Um,
yeah.
what were you highly recruited out of high school, and then I mean, or did you just sort of blow up in junior college? I guess how do how would you sort of maybe tell people about your journey? And now here you are, like committed to the number one team in the country. What have the last, I don't know, 3 years been like from there to Wyoming, and now you're gonna be playing in the SEC?
Yeah, the last 3 years have definitely been a movie. They've been crazy. You know, a lot of people wouldn't have expected it. You know, me in high school, I was a late bloomer. I grew pretty late, so I was short throughout majority of high school. Like I think sophomore, junior years when I hit a growth spurt. But like I wasn't really that good in high school. You know, I had talent, but I was just growing into my body, like and I just put in a lot of work. But then I went prep school, so I left Omaha like my junior year. Went prep school. You know, didn't things didn't work out at the prep school, and then I went to another prep school my senior year, and I feel like that's when I really blew up. You know, that's when everything started coming to life, and then I found out that I had to take the JUCO route. You know, my recruitment wasn't big my senior year or my last year prep school. Like my recruitment wasn't really that heavy. I had like low majors, mid majors on me, but it wasn't really nothing crazy. And then you know, I decided to go JUCO, and yeah, everything else took care of itself. You know, I went to a coach that allowed me to be myself, allowed me to play my game, and you know, I feel like the rest took care of itself. But yeah, I wasn't really heavily recruited out of high school, really at all. I wasn't that good in high school, but you know, I just put the work in, and you know, it led me to the point I am now. It led me to where I am now. But yeah, it's just high school was, yeah, I wasn't really that good. I didn't really get recruited like that.
Um, I'm looking back through just recent games. I mean, you're just, it seems like you're on a tear. You've had a couple of 40+ point games in your last 4 games. Um, you're 28 points a game right now. Um, how would you sort of describe your game? Um, Strengths and weaknesses wise, maybe, and how do you feel like you fit into to what Auburn does? How would you sort of tell people, hey, I'm this kind of player? You're 6'7". You obviously can shoot the three. I've seen people sort of just describe you as just a hooper, like just a bucket getter. Like
Yeah.
you just score. I just was looking
Yeah.
at one box score and you shot. You went. You made 22 free throws in one game. There's another game I saw where you're hitting 8 or 9 threes. Whatever. So like it seems like you can score in a variety of ways. But how would you sort of describe yourself and why do you think the way Auburn plays and stuff is just like a perfect fit?
I would describe myself as obviously a scorer. I think everybody in the country or everybody that recruited me or knows who I am knows that that's what I do. I score the ball and I shoot the ball at a high level. I think I led the country in three. I led the country in threes made both years in junior college. Well, I think I lead it now, but I definitely led it last year. So I led the country in threes made last year at 125 makes. I think at like 45% or some crazy stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like people know me as like a shooter scorer, so to get into my spots. I feel like people don't really know, like I play on the ball, like I can play like with the ball in my hands. I can initiate offense. I can play any position, one through the three. I feel very comfortable playing the one, the two, or the three. And it doesn't matter like my height or anything like that. I feel very comfortable with the ball in my hands. I would definitely say my weaknesses are like my physicality. I feel like I gotta bulk up. I gotta get stronger in order to play in the SEC. But you know, that's something that me, Coach Pearl, and me and Coach Davis, the strength coach at Auburn, talked about. Is just getting stronger with the second I step on campus. So you know, I'm not really worried about it. I feel like they have a great history of getting guys ready for the SEC and preparing guys. So I feel like those are my weaknesses, but I definitely you know, I'm working every day to try to get better at them. And yeah, I mean, my game is just, yeah. I mean, a lot of people feel like it's a very entertaining game the way I play, but you know, it's just how me and my like the guys that have been in my circle. That's just how we play. Because, like, obviously, like you know, me, my twin brother leads the country in threes made right now. You know, every time we work out together, we compete. We're doing shooting stuff. We're trying to get each other better. So, you know, it's just we're carbon copies of each other. We basically play identically the same. So but yeah, that's just one way to describe my game. But I feel like, you know, I can play make. I can do a lot of things with the ball in my hands. And I feel like I fit perfect in the Auburn system because you know, Coach Pearl he plays a Auburn plays a little inside out game. You know, they've been fortunate and blessed to have very good bigs these past few seasons, obviously with like Walker Kessler, Jabari Smith, Janai Broome.
Mhm.
So, you know, you when you mix that in with shooters on the outside, I feel like it's a complete offense. You know, they get shooters good looks, they get guys open, they get very good looks from three. So I feel like, I'm just gonna be able to play my game and knock those down, especially if I'm open. I don't think I'm gonna miss if I'm open.
Have they talked to you about maybe where you fit in? Are you sort of in that Chad Baker role? Are you a two? I mean, you're 6'7", but are you more of a shooting guard? Like, could you be a shooting guard in college? Are you more of just sort of a wing, a three man? Is it sort of undecided in terms of maybe where you fit in, or is there anything specific they talked about? Like, here's where you are in the offense, or hey, watch this guy. That's kind of what you'll be doing.
Yeah, they definitely talk about the similarities of me and Chad. I think I've seen a lot of people on social media talking about me and Chad's similarities, obviously being the same build, being the same height. But yeah, I can. They said like they would plug me in at like the two or the three because obviously they got good freshmen into Hod, and he plays the one and he plays it amazing. So, I wouldn't really have to get many reps at that position, but just plugging, being alongside him, playing alongside him at the two or the three. So I feel like the two and the three are interchangeable though. They
Mhm.
can both I can play like there's guys on Auburn that play both the two and the three. There's guys on Auburn that play both the one and the two. So I feel like they're just the more versatile you are as a player, I feel like it's easy to plug you in places. And I feel like I'm a very versatile player that you can plug me around a lot of different guys and a lot of different places, and I feel like I'd be able to benefit from it and help my team win.
Yeah, you mentioned your brother. How cool is it to sort of go on your journey and he's on his journey at the same time? He leads the country in threes. You're leading JUCO in threes. That's pretty insane. Like brothers leading the country in their divisions in three pointers, and then now here you come into the SEC. And yeah, you're right. He's you guys are like almost carbon copies of each other, and stuff of how you play. I don't know how cool is that? Like, I don't know how many people get a chance to sort of their play at the go through this journey at the same time as their brothers going through a journey of getting better and
Yeah.
getting accolades, and so are you. And you guys can probably talk to each other and relate to each other, and have somebody that understands where you're at in life. Like, just talk about how cool that is.
No, it's something that like, I couldn't even put it to words or describe the feeling that it gives me, the joy that it gives me, seeing my brother succeed because, me and my brother have gone through so much together. That we've been counted out so much in our lives and like just seeing him go through all the adversity and the battles he had to go through to get to this point to where he's top 10 or top 15 in scoring and leading the country in three, shooting a crazy percentage from three. It just it brings me so much happiness. It puts a smile on my face because I feel like me and my brother like we really like a lot of people always try to compare us, but we really don't ever try to compare each other. I feel like we're like I would be more happy in my life if my brother is more successful than me, and my brother would be more happy if I was more successful than him. Then that's just how like that's just the relationship we have because we're best friends like since birth. We did everything together when we were together. It was hard. It was hard going our separate ways, but I feel like it's just we both felt like it was what was necessary in order for us to make the most out of the opportunities that we've been given. And obviously like my brother, I would I would do anything in the world to see my brother succeed. He would do anything to see me succeed. So it just, yeah, it's a different level of happiness seeing him playing the way he is now, and you know, just I expect it from him though. Like that's what I expect from him. And when he has off nights, he's definitely gonna he's gonna hear from me, and I'm gonna tell him to lock back in. But nah, we hold each other accountable. We hold each other to a high standard. We know what we expect from each other, and we try not to let each other down. But yeah, it's just I'm so happy seeing him playing the way he is now and getting the amount of recognition that he is because he deserves it, man. He puts in so much work, and I love him, and I'll do anything for him.
I was looking at some of your stats. Just, I mean, my gosh, an 8 point jump in points per game last year. A big jump in free throw percentage too. I mean, you went from 78 to 87, and you almost doubled your free throw attempts per game. Um, that's a big deal. Was there any kind of concerted effort to like try to get to the bucket more, get to the free throw line more, or is it maybe just a result of playing more and getting more touches, or was there something there that said I mean 87%, yeah, if you get to the line, like you're gonna knock them down.
Yeah, nah, I definitely this past offseason I was definitely working on being more aggressive getting downhill because the way I was gonna get played this year, I knew guys were gonna try to run me off the line because of what I did last year. So,
Yeah.
I definitely was emphasizing that. And I mean, at free throw, I don't know how I shot 78 last year. I was getting to the line. I was getting to the line and just like, I don't know, I might have been a little nervous or something, but I definitely shoot better than 78%. But nah, yeah, I just try to be more aggressive and try to take what the defense gives me, and guys are obviously playing up on me because of how I'm able to shoot it, and I have the ball in my hands a lot more than I did last year because last year I played with some great guards, played alongside some great guards that were capable of doing similar things that I am, and this year I feel like the team has a different identity. We have a lot of guys on the wings, a lot of bigger guys that I'm able to they're able to play off of me, and I'm able to get them good looks. So yeah, having the ball in my hands more, and getting put in more actions with the ball as a creator. I feel like it definitely um allowed me to show more parts of my game of getting to the rim and getting fouled and things like that.
So what's sort of the I guess what's sort of the goals for you the next couple of months in terms of finishing out the season? Do you guys have a chance to play postseason? What's sort of your immediate focus before you arrive in Auburn in May, I guess? What's kind of how do you want to finish the season? What can your team accomplish? What are some things that might be important to you before you
Uh,
before you leave Casper?
yeah, so we got postseason coming up now. We this upcoming Saturday's first round of the region playoffs. So that's been my goal since before I arrived on campus here is to try to win a region championship for this city because they put a lot into our program. Um, so that's been my main goal. That's been my only goal really is just trying to win a region championship. And yeah, postseason starts Saturday, so we play Saturday. If we win, we play next Thursday. Then we got to win three in a row in order to get to the national tournament. And yeah, I feel like we have a team that's capable of doing it. I feel like we're finally starting to get our groove back. We've gone through some stuff this season that this has been insane, but nah, we're definitely starting to get our groove back, and that's been my team's goal. That's been our coach's goal since they started recruiting me. So I feel like that's the main thing, and you got to keep the main thing the main thing. That's our only focus right now. And then when the season ends, obviously just staying consistent and getting better before I arrive on campus. And then when I arrive, I feel like I owe it to the people that gave me the opportunity to continue having a work ethic, to Coach Pearl and the whole staff and the city of Auburn to continue having a good work ethic that's got me to that point and getting better every day and going out there and playing with pride and playing with a lot of effort.
Yeah, I just looked it up real quick. Yeah, you lead the nation by a lot in points per game. You're at 28. The next closest is 22. So feel pretty confident that you're going to lead certainly the Division One North. I don't know how they just split that up, Division North and South, but you're leading. I didn't look at South, but
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see what South is. Um, I guess last question would be what is it going to feel like watching Auburn? What do you think this team can do? I mean, they have the SEC championship locked up. How sort of engaged and locked in are you at watching them play and sort of feeling like you're an extension of them as they try to go into the postseason? And it's hard to make a Final Four. I mean, it's NCAA tournament, man. It's matchups and anything can happen. But you
Yeah.
got any predictions? What do you think about this team and what do you think they can do? What kind of run do you see like
Uh,
them making?
I think that Auburn team is capable of winning national championship. I feel like there's a standard set for them. Obviously of what they've accomplished this year. I feel like there's a narrative or there's a standard set for them to where if they don't make a certain like Sweet 16 or Final Four, then it was a bust of a year. But I feel like I just don't think there's a lot of teams in the country that can match up with them with their 10 or however many they play because they're just so talented. They got guys coming off the bench that can like start at a lot of programs in the SEC, a lot of programs in the country. So watching them, I feel like they are definitely capable of winning a national championship. They're capable of winning the SEC tournament championship. And I feel like they deserve it. They put in a lot of work, and it's going to be exciting watching them. I try to watch them as much as I can, and I feel like I've got a good understanding of their guys and what they do and what they're capable of. And they got a National Player of the Year. They got s- somebody that's probably going to be all SEC freshman. A few guys is going to be all league. So they're definitely capable of winning a national championship. But whatever happens, happens. Matchups are a lot. March is crazy because you can match up with anybody. There's certain teams that can guard you better than other teams can. But as long as they're having fun and they're enjoying this process and enjoying this journey, because not a lot of people get to experience what they're experiencing right now. So winning is important, but they look like a very close group. They look like a very tight knit group, and you know I feel like there's other things that can that can go. There's things that can go wrong. There's things that can go right, but they're definitely capable of winning a national championship.
Well, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be a fun ride for you in the postseason, Auburn in the postseason, and I know Auburn fans are super excited about you joining the program. Watching a lot of clips of you on X and scoring. I think they're certainly pretty pumped about you coming in. Can't wait for you to get there in May. Man, stay healthy. Have an
Yes,
awesome
sir. Thanks.
postseason. And if you haven't already engaged with Auburn Twitter, Auburn fans on X, I'm sure you'll get them. They're a fun bunch. So have fun
Yeah,
with
they
that, man.
definitely are.
Yeah. Yeah. Have fun with that. And we'll stay in touch with you. Look forward to seeing you in May down in Auburn.
Yes, sir. Take care. Thank you for having me on, man.
Absolutely, Abdul. We'll catch up with you next time. Appreciate everybody joining us. Go to auburnlive.com and subscribe. Go to the YouTube channel, turn on notifications, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.